whispers of an ancient tomb.
Holding horrors in every room.
All right. We're catching up with Blizzard on a game that's taken us all by storm and has stolen a lot of hours of our time. Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, and recently Curse of Naxxramas, the first sort of single-player raid campaign that you brought onto the game. First of all, what has the sort of the reactions been like, the feedback, and what kind of experience has it been for you guys from your side of things with launching this new content?
You know, the reception for Naxxramas has been universally positive, and it's been really exciting for us to see players respond well to it. I mean, our goal for Naxxramas was to give players an opportunity to experience Hearthstone in a new way. So we have 39 single-player missions that are a little bit more like puzzles. They're going to get you out of your comfort zone. They're going to make you try new decks. We're going to put you into impossible situations in heroic difficulty. And for a moment, you're going to think, there's no way this is possible. But you're going to go back to your card collection, and you're going to look at those cards you haven't looked at before and figure out these little tricks to beat them, and that's going to be very satisfying. We're also introducing 30 new cards. 6 of them which are legendary, and those cards are specifically designed to mix up the meta, kind of change things so that the competitive landscape, you're forced to, again, make new decks, encounter new opponents, be surprised by what you see. I just logged in last night because we've been releasing new content every week on Tuesdays, so we split it into 5 weeks. This week was the 4th week. Next week will be our last week. So I logged in yesterday. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? I don't even know what deck this is. And to me, right now is such a great time for new players to join Hearthstone. It's really evening out the field because nobody knows what's going on. B, there's really wonderful single-player content that you can get your feet wet with. And C, currently the first swing of Naxxramas is free, so you can check it out.
And I guess that's one of those things, because when a card game has settled down a little bit, people sort of get into this, oh, this is the deck to have, or this is the card, this is the tactic to use with this character, and that. So, have you already seen how that's being mixed up on the sort of the higher level games?
Yeah, totally. It's delightful for us to see just crazy ideas players are coming up with, and you can watch streamers or like go on social network and kind of see the responses of the players, and they're very similar to me, which is like, what is going on? This is crazy. And when we see that, that makes us excited.
I guess this whole new thing about streaming and YouTube is sort of, it makes the sort of the new ideas more immediately available to the entire player base. So there's perhaps not the advantage of sort of figuring something out isn't as long as it was perhaps 5 years back or something like that.
Yeah, the flip side of that is there's so much wealth of knowledge and content out there. If you were to look at a traditional collectible card game years ago, the only way for you to improve and learn how to play the game is to seek other players out, maybe even go to another city to, check out a tournament. But now, if you're new to the game, you don't know exactly what kind of deck you want to play, there are wonderful community content out there. It's very easy for you to go, oh, this seems like a really cool idea. I'm going to try it out. And then you try it out and you learn, and as you learn, you kind of put your own twist to it. I think that's how you improve as a player and how you learn to enjoy CCG. So I think it's a very positive thing. There's a lot of great content out there. I mean, the other thing is these streams are just wonderful to watch, right? One of the things we learned when developing Hearthstone was whenever we have two players kind of play the prototype against each other, very slowly all these players would like all these workmates would gather around them. It's like, oh my God, you're playing that priest deck I told you about. Why are you doing that? It's like, don't let Jason Chase beat you. Like, what are you doing? So, it's just very, it's really fun to play. It's very fun to watch, and it's really fun to talk about and have the social experience. So, with streaming, it just totally made sense to me that it would become popular because it's that multiplied by the internet. So now you have 10,000 people watching this guy play, and they're all standing behind his shoulder in the chat room, chatting with each other, chatting with the streamer. So that's been really wonderful. So that's all been really positive for the game.
So I mean, I assume you guys have so much other things going with esport and stuff that you see the potential in this as sort of moving in that direction as well. Is that something you're actively seeking out, or do you see that sort of growing out organically?
Yeah, at first we weren't exactly sure if this game would be embraced by the esports community, and boy, we were wrong, right? So streaming's really taken off because the game is easy to understand and fun to watch, but at the same time, we've kind of split apart the complexity, unnecessary complexity, but retain the strategic core. We talk often about chess when we talk about what we're trying to do with Hearthstone, which is you have a game like chess, which is simple rules and easy to understand how to play, but at the highest level, you can take a lifetime to master that game. So, I think that's really kind of the fact that it's fun to play, fun to watch, and then at the highest level, you have this very rich strategic depth is making a really ideal candidate for esports. So we see a lot of grassroots tournaments pop up. We have a lot of fireside gatherings at local, pubs and comic book store or whatever. We have we have venues like DreamHack host substantive big Hearthstone tournament, and this has been all amazing. We want to help nurture that and help that grow. So one thing we announced that I'm personally really excited about is at the end of the year, November 2014, we have our BlizzCon. At BlizzCon, we're going to have a Hearthstone World Championship. We have $250,000 on the line. And I think that's making all the best minds of collectible card game around the world interested in Hearthstone play them at their kind of local tournament, and all of that's kind of feeding into our World Championship at the end of the year. And I can't wait to figure out who the best player in the world is.
I suppose you don't want to bring in too many new cards right before that event. That would kind of perhaps piss some people off.
Well, I mean, I think it's a balance. I think if you have new cards that enter the arena, it really rewards creative players who not only execute well, but have to come up with new concept and figure out, imagine new threats and countermeasures for that. So, obviously we don't want to do anything the morning of, but, I think it's something we can think about.
Curse of Naxxramas, you're sort of winding that up to the finale, the grand finale of it. Is this the model moving forward to bring out these kind of expansions, or do you want to bring out expansions that are different in some way, or what's the plans ahead?
Sure. I like to say that Hearthstone has been a great learning experience for all of us on Team 5, the Hearthstone team. We didn't want to come into this saying, oh, we know exactly what everybody wants and this is exactly how we want to do things. With Naxxramas, it was all about pushing the boundary of what's possible with a digital card game. Traditionally, you would release kind of a series of card packs, and because that's basically the only thing that's practical to do when you're talking about a physical way to distribute cards. With Naxxramas, we wanted to see, okay, look, we're a digital card game. How can we evolve the collectible card game genre? How can we do things differently? So, with 39 single-player missions and the 30 cards divided into 5 weeks, kind of do 1 week at a time per week, this was not possible before. And we really feel like we're pushing the envelope and helping us see what we could do in the future. So we're learning a lot. Overall, it's going amazingly well. I think there are things we can improve for the future. So that's one lesson learned. We also want to learn more about what it means to have a more traditional card pack expansion. So our next expansion is actually going to be a new set of card packs.
Is there any sort of time plan ahead for that, or is it just when you feel comfortable releasing it?
Currently, we are not comfortable talking about timeline, but we're working hard on it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.